This is the Xiaomi Mix 4, which has a 6.67-inch AMOLED display with no notch or punch hole. The front is made of Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, and in terms of the screen, it is curved, but they do stop on the edges at the sides. The sides are made of aluminium or aluminum, depending on which part of the world you are from. The back is made of ceramic and it has a mirror effect, which is really useful for those of you who are really vain and need to check your appearance. It is also a fingerprint magnet. Besides the device, look what else you get inside the box. You get this flexible case. You get a USB to Type-C charging cable. And for me, the pièce de résistance, you get the dongle. So if you got a 3.5mm headphone jack, this is where you slot it in, and that goes into the Type-C of your device. Excellent. 10 out of 10 to Xiaomi for thinking ahead. Then you get the 120 watt charging brick, which should charge the device from 0 to 100% in about 30 minutes. And I'm going to put that to the test. Then inside here, little box of magic tricks. Look at this. Beautiful packaging. Beautiful. You get the SIM tool ejector. How fantastic is that? So Apple, Samsung, Google, this is the gold standard. In terms of colors, this is the ceramic black. They also come in ceramic white and shadow gray. This is a really slippery device, so you are going to need some kind of case to protect it. At the bottom, from right to left, you have the grill speaker, a microphone, Type-C charging port, and the SIM tray, which houses 2 nano SIMs, as there is no expandable storage. On the right hand side of the device, you have the on and off button, and you have the volume rocker. On the top, you have the Harman Kardon branding. You also have a microphone and a second speaker. You also have an IR blaster, which means you can use your phone to control devices such as your television, air conditioning unit, a projector, DVD player, etc. And just above the under display camera is the earpiece, which also acts as a speaker. It has a 4500 mAh battery inside, which will easily last you all day without charging. It weighs 225 grams and does feel hefty. In terms of the screen resolution, it is 1080 by 2400 pixels and has a 20 by 9 aspect ratio. It also has a IP53 dust and splash resistant rating and is powered by the Snapdragon 888 chipset with 5G, so it is future proof. It comes in 128, 256 or 512 gigabytes in terms of internal storage. And it also has Bluetooth 5.2. The device comes with Android 11 with MIUI 12.5 on top. This has now been upgraded to Android 12 with MIUI 13. Out of the 256 gigabytes, 24.9 gigabytes is made up of system data and pre-installed apps. Tap on here, you can see this in graphical form, and as illustrated at the top here, you are left with 231 gigabytes of internal storage. There is not too much bloatware on this device. However, you can uninstall any pre-installed apps that you do not use. The device is only available in China. However, you can purchase it from reputable websites who will ship abroad. I bought mine from Giztop, and I covered the whole buying process in a separate video. And just so you know, it also came with Google Play pre-installed, so I was able to install all my apps. With the refresh rate, you have a choice of the 60 Hz or the 120 Hz. Although what I'm not sure is whether it is adaptive. To prevent any flickering, especially when filming, you can activate the anti-flicker mode by clicking on there, and as it states at the bottom there, it only operates at 60 Hz. I was able to download Google Pay from the Play Store. However, when it came to using it, it failed on 3 separate occasions. When it comes to security, you have 4 options in locking and unlocking your phone. So starting with the screen lock, that you can do either with a pattern or with a pin. Next obviously is face lock, your fingerprint, and of course with a Bluetooth device. You do have some options with the color scheme, such as vivid, saturated, or the original color. When it comes to the screen on time, I'm getting anything between 4.5 hours, 5.5 hours, and 6.5 hours on a full charge. Since this phone is made in China and it only comes in the English Chinese version, therefore do be prepared to see a lot of Chinese writing. One can adjust the screen brightness and it can go up to 800 nits. You can set up quick ball, which is very similar to the sidebar, and it sits on either side of the device. Basically, what it allows you to do is to perform a few functions, for example, to go back, close, and of course to take a screenshot. Having made a video about the 120 watt charger, I can pretty much confirm it is quick. You have some special features on this device. For example, you've got sidebar, you've got the front camera assistant, you've got floating windows, then you also have the second space, which is very similar to Samsung's secure folder, which I hasten to add is not secure. But with the second space, it is top notch. Basically, it allows you to set up a second space so you can give your device to somebody to maybe use the internet, go on YouTube or whatever, and they would not have access to any of your information on your main space. So effectively, you have 2 devices within one. The rear-facing camera has a triple camera setup, starting with a 108 megapixel wide camera, an 8 megapixel periscope telephoto camera with 5 times optical zoom, and a 30 megapixel ultra wide camera. You also get dual LED flash, and you can also record in 4K at 30 and 60 frames per second. Plus, you can record in 8K at 24 frames per second. If you're enjoying this video, a subscribe to the channel below would be like a ray of sunshine, and it is free to do, as my analytics are showing less than 1% of you watching are subscribers. Within your camera app, you have your photo and portrait mode, and they both have artificial intelligence. You also have video and pro video mode. Of course, you can customize things further. On the top right here, you can record at 720, 1080p, 4K at 60 frames per second, and also 8K at 24 frames per second. Just remember, if you record in 8K, it does create large files and eats into your internal storage. And remember, there is no expandable storage on the device. This will not be an issue if you have cloud storage, although it does depend on how much cloud storage you have. When it comes to the More tab, you have these other options such as night mode, 108 megapixel camera, panorama, slow motion, multicam, clone, etc. And some of these are going dev in a separate video. What you can also do is tap on this option here and you can get them in bigger size fonts. Also, the beauty with this is you can rotate it from portrait to landscape. Whenever you want to record a video using the electronic image stabilization, select this option here, which is a steady video, and it will record up to a maximum of 1080p at 30 frames per second. If you want to see a more full and in-depth review of all the camera features on the Mix 4, of which there are many, check out this video on my channel. Having tested the cameras on my Xiaomi Mix 4 on the right here, I notice whenever I'm in the photo mode, I tap on the top right here, and one option that was missing was the super macro option. On my left hand side, I have my Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro, which is a mid-range device. Again, I'm in the photo option, and whenever I tap on the top right here And I'm sure you can see it says quite clearly there, super macro. So I was a little disappointed that it was not offered on the premium Xiaomi Mix 4. Anyway, to compensate, what I did is took some close-up photos with the Xiaomi Mix 4, which you will see in the upcoming clips. Just take a look at the following photos and videos taken with the rear-facing camera. You will notice when the optical zoom kicks in, as there'll be a slight change in the footage at 5x zoom. Take a look at the following clip. When it comes to the front-facing camera, which cannot be seen with the naked eye, the only clue to indicate that it exists is the screen protector, which clearly shows where the front-facing camera is. The attraction of the Mix 4 is that bezel-less screen due to the cup inside. That is the camera under panel. Unlike the rear-facing cameras, the front-facing camera leaves a lot to be desired, and I have tried to be fair by taking the best photos and videos with the Xiaomi Mix 4. Take a look at some examples. I'm now filming using the 20 megapixel under display front facing camera, and over the past 4 months I have struggled to get a tune out of this front facing camera, and it's a real shame that you can only record up to a maximum of 1080p at 30 frames per second. Whilst the technology may be brilliant, I have to say the quality has been substandard. Here's another footage using the front facing camera. What I'm going to do is just spin around so you can judge the quality for yourself. In the 5 months I have had the device, I've taken over 600 photos and 200 videos across 2 continents, and it was tough whittling it down to about 30 examples for this video. So just to conclude, that was the Xiaomi Mix 4, which is a really good phone and packed with features. Plus the unboxing was A-star and you do feel really special opening it. The rear cameras are right up there with the likes of Samsung, Apple, Google, etc. Well done, Xiaomi. The front under display camera is great in terms of technology. However, the quality of the photo and video recording definitely needs improvement and should have at least 4K recording at 30 frames per second, especially for such a premium device. As someone who takes a lot of photos and videos, it would have been nice for the device to have expandable storage. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. My name is Sholo. Thank you for watching and I will see you in another episode. Peace.